I had no idea that Harvard got this turned up. If you would have told me that we would be singing Mask Off by Future on the campus of Harvard University, I would have said, what have you been taking lately? So I'm just so excited that we can be here today. Dear Harvard, Black graduating class of 2018, faculty, come on now, amen. Faculty, staff, family, and friends, welcome to Harvard's second annual Black graduation celebration. Yes. Now, for those of you who do not know, with this university being around 381 years, this is only the second Black graduation ever. So welcome, you are a part of history today. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, graduates, I know you have already been asked by Dr. Wilson to do this, but I believe we can never give gratitude enough. I want you to take a moment to thank your parents, your grandparents, your guardians, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your nieces, your children, because if it wasn't for them, you could not be sitting here right now. So would you please let them know how much you love and appreciate them? You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Let them know you're thankful. Let them know you're grateful. Let them know you appreciate the kind words, the prayers, the money, the food. Let them know. Now, parents, guardians, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, children, I want you to take a moment to celebrate your graduates. Let them know how proud you are of them. Let them know how much you love them. Let them know how much you care about them. Let them know how grateful you are for their excellence. They made it. Amen, amen. We have to take time to celebrate one another because we can't do it without the other. Some of you celebrate today because you've made it through a lot. You've come through long lines at the financial aid office. You mean to tell me I still owe how much? Come on, I'm talking to somebody right now. You've made it through the craziness of class registration. Some of you have even had to make it through dorm room dining where you became a proficient chef in top ramen. You know what I'm saying? Because you can scramble it, you can microwave it, you can boil it, and even if you get in a pinch, you can break it off and just eat a little something that tastes better than breadsticks. Who am I talking to right now? Oh, amen, somebody. Amen, somebody. Some of you have made it through the breakups and makeups of dorm room dating. You don't have to identify yourselves. You know who you are. But all of you have made it through syllabi and office hours, midterms, finals, study groups, sleep deprivation, Dunkin' Donuts dining, and Starbucks addiction. But the good news is you made it. Doesn't matter whether or not you ran, you jumped, you skipped, you rolled, you dipped, you crawled, or whether or not you were dragged. The bottom line is you made it. You have succeeded. It is time to celebrate. Speaking of celebration, recently there were some Black graduates that were stopped literally in their tracks as they made it across the commencement stage. They were stopped because people didn't want them to celebrate. And it was appalling to watch as these students who stayed the course and paid the price, as they were walking across the stage, celebrating in their way. They were literally manhandled and taken off the stage. But here's what I know. When people don't know what you've been through, they don't understand your praise. When they don't know what you have sacrificed, those late nights when you wanted to quit, I'm talking to somebody, those times when you were crying saying, I can't make it, you have a reason to celebrate. And let me tell you, with everybody trying to stop your shine, you cannot be stopped. And I'm going to quote the famous lines of the ubiquitous Sean P. Diddy Combs, can't stop, won't stop. Who am I talking in the house today? Come on now. Can't stop your shine. Can't stop your shine. However, before we start popping corks, and some of y'all popping bottles, hey, don't tell on yourself. And before we start letting the streamers fly, we must put this achievement in a larger context of where we are in the world. Mass shootings, police brutality, mass incarceration, poverty. This is America. And there are significant policy changes right now being considered in Congress that would roll back so much of the progress we've achieved since the Civil Rights Act of 1964. It's very hard to believe that it's been almost over 50 years since that movement hit its stride. Sometimes you have to look back in order to go forward. As I look back, it took me to 1967. This was the year that the last book that Martin Luther King wrote was published, and it was entitled, "Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community?" And it's very interesting that 50 years later, this question is as relevant as ever. Where do we go from here? And don't believe the hype. We do have a choice, and the power is in our hands to decide. But before we can answer that question communally, it first has to be answered individually. Where do you go from here? Now, graduates, I know while the majority of you are happy, there are some of you that while you're putting on a smiling face, you are downright scared about where you go from here. And truth be told, there's a slight feeling of emptiness. I know, because I've been there. See, our life has pretty much been broken down into quarters, midterms, semesters, finals, report cards, GPAs, and summer breaks. And this will be the first time for some of you when these parameters will no longer bind you. And while it's liberating on one hand, it's downright scary on the other. And many of you are processing what the next phase of this life will hold. Even the power and prestige of this great institution isn't enough to insulate you from the fear that some of you have about your future and the quiet questions you ask deep down in your spirit. Did I make the right decision? Will I achieve the dream I think about? Can I ever find peace? Speaking from experience, I can tell you, you can. But here is the key in order to achieve the peace that you seek. You have to make yourself a committee of one and vote for the life you feel compelled to have. Now, here's the catch. It's not the life your parents have voted for you. I'm talking to somebody right now. Yeah, parents, I got to talk to the graduates and give them some truth. You can get mad at me later. I got to tell you the truth. It's not the life your family has voted for you. It's not even the life your friends have voted for you. But it is the life that you feel deep down in your spirit that you are supposed to lead. Your difference is your destiny. Do not exchange what makes you different for what makes you common. And when you vote for that difference each and every day, you will find yourself having more peace than you ever thought was possible. And when you have that peace, that then unlocks our collective potential. So I ask the question, where do we go from here? We go as far as our excellence will take us. Now, I want to talk about black excellence for a moment, as inspired by I Too, the poem by Langston Hughes. Many people told me that today, we wanted to personify black excellence. Well, I want you to remember this. Being black is non-negotiable, but excellence is optional. I will repeat. Being black is non-negotiable, but excellence is optional. Turn to your neighbor and say, you smell like excellence today. Come on now, turn to your other neighbor and say, wow, you smell like excellence today. Come on, somebody. Now, y'all are saying a whole lot more than I asked you to say. We've got to choose excellence every day. We have to cultivate excellence every day. We have to commit to excellence every day. Martin Luther King said this about excellence: if it falls to your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. And sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. What will your excellence say about the legacy you aspire to lead? When you combine your blackness with a commitment to excellence, you will become unstoppable. And may I pause for a moment and ask you, don't believe the fake news that's out there, that the Make America Great Again campaign will derail your black excellence. It's impossible to progress to the future while looking in the rear view of a past that never existed. Because those who've been using their race as a means of supremacy, bigotry, and prejudice know that their time is up. Come on, somebody. So what we are seeing right now is a last gasp of desperation, trying to hold on to what they think was a better time that actually never existed. We know the truth. We know the truth. That until we embrace the native, the immigrant, the straight, the gay, the black, the white, the Latino, the Asian, and all the other thes in between, America can and America never will be great. Truth be told, America's greatness is tied up in our blackness. Come on, somebody. America's greatness is tied up in our blackness. Because America has always been at its greatest when it embraces the best that everyone has to offer within its borders. I need you to know that the excellence in you is more powerful than the hate in the world. It's more powerful than the hate in the world. I also need you to know that the excellence is in you is more powerful than all the vibranium in Wakanda. Now, let's talk about Wakanda for a moment. I love Black Panther, and I too am Wakanda forever. However, I work in Hollywood, and producing movies is one of the many things that I do. So earlier this year, my good friend Tyler Perry took me on a trip to Wakanda. Some of you are saying, what? It was right there on the back lot of his studio in Atlanta. You see, they filmed a portion of the Black Panther movie there. I don't mean to burst your bubble, but Wakanda isn't real. Some kids right now are crying in the audience. What you talking about? Wakanda forever. Here's what I'm saying. Wakanda is a beautiful picture of the power of imagination, but it is imagination nonetheless. It is made up on the backlots of Hollywood, green screens, and high-powered computers. But let me tell you something. Whether or not you can use a fictitious metal to transform yourself to an indestructible superhero, let me tell you that the excellence in you is a real superpower, because the excellence in you has the ability to shift atmospheres. The excellence in you can change a no into a yes. The excellence in you can change a rejection into acceptance. So please don't begin to romanticize the fictional, but begin to embrace the factual, that you have more excellence than any creature, any continent, any character that Marvel could ever create, because you are the real deal and you have the real superpower. It's called excellence. It's called excellence. Black excellence is like American Express. It's everywhere you want to be. Black excellence is like Allstate Insurance. It puts you in good hands, somebody. And excellence black excellence is even like an old Billy D. Williams Colt 45 commercial. It works every time. Taking some of y'all back. But the question remains, where do we go from here? Will Smith once told me, it's not a matter of how hard you're willing to work, but how long. How long can you stay committed? How long can you stay excellent? How long can you persevere? How long can you grind it out until your dreams come to fruition? So I want you to buckle up and commit no matter how long the process takes. I also want you to pull a Star Trek, and I want you to boldly go where no black man or black woman has ever gone before. Take the limitations off of yourself. Not the sky's the limit, but the universe, the heavens are within your grasp if you have the ability to commit and go for it. Where may you go? Beyond just the atmosphere, go where your dreams take you and where your excellence can carry you. There will be many times when your reality does not line up with your destiny. But you got to keep on striving, keep praying, keep dreaming, and most of all, keep working. Faith plus work is the winning combination. Faith plus work is the winning combination. So I challenge you right now to sow seeds of excellence into the soil of your potential and water it every day until it grows into the tree of your destiny that has been promised to you before the foundation of this earth. And the last thing I will say to you is this, that there is no limit to what you can do and what you can become when you allow excellence to be the wind beneath your wings. And sometimes there's a temptation to allow our eyes to get bigger than our purposeful stomachs. And what I mean by that is there's a tendency to want to get out of here and do more and spend more than you may have. But let me give you a piece of sage wisdom. Live within your means. Live within your means, but always count on the everlasting power of your dreams. Wakanda, scratch that. Black excellence forever.